Hello, my name is Jatish and this channel is dedicated to all about investing. And in this video, we are going to talk about ISAs. So let's get right to it. What are ISAs or individual saving accounts? So these are essentially saving accounts where you don't have to pay any of your tax on. And there are 4 different types of ISAs accounts. So these are cash ISAs, innovative finance ISAs, lifetime ISAs, and stocks and share ISAs. So you can only have one type of each of these ISAs account per tax year, and this year allowances is 20k. So if you add up all of your money invested in these ISAs account, it shouldn't be more than 20k. So next tax year we can have a different allowance, however this one is 20k. So let's go through each of these ISAs accounts and see what they do. Number 1, cash ISAs. These are essentially the same as traditional saving accounts. It's just that you don't pay any tax on your interest that you earn. Now, this was good, but after the financial crisis, because the interest has been so low, there isn't much use putting your saving into these accounts. And the fact that we got a personal allowance of £1,000 for basic rate taxpayers and £500 for the higher taxpayers, there isn't much use in having your saving in these cash ISAs. Number 2, stocks and share ISAs account. So these are basically investment fund or account where your capital gains are protected from tax. So this is definitely much more riskier than cash ISAs. However, if you can mitigate your risk and have a long-term strategic plan, you can definitely use this as a powerful tool to your advantage. So personally, I use 2 platforms. These are Vanguard and Trading 212, and both of these offer stocks and share ISAs account. However, because you're only allowed to have one type of each type of ISAs account per tax year, I chose Vanguard as my stocks and share ISAs account and Trading 212 as a normal investment fund. Now, I should also point out that even though the name is stocks and share ISAs account, you can use it to buy investment fund, ETF and bonds. So the name is a bit misleading. Now the next one is also pretty interesting. Number 3, lifetime ISAs. So this is essentially for first-time house buying, or it can be used as a retirement fund. Now let's assume that this is going to be used for first-time house buyers. So you can contribute maximum of £4,000 into this account, and the government will give a boost of a 25% bonus on top of whatever is in the account. So if you put £4,000, you get a £1,000 bonus on top of that. So you can actually do this from the age of 18 to 50. So essentially you can get £33,000 free cash. But of course, most people will be willing to buy a house well before that. Now, there are drawbacks to these ISAs, lifetime ISAs. So you have to make sure that you want to buy a house, because if you want to withdraw the money other than the purpose of buying the first house, you actually get a fee and you don't get the additional bonus. And the second drawback is that there's a limit on the house price. The limit is £450,000 wherever in the UK. So if it's above that, you cannot use this lifetime ISA for the bonus. So whatever that's put in will be saved until retirement. I can make another video on just for lifetime ISAs, as there are major other little drawbacks that can be explained, but let's keep this video short and move on to the next one. Number 4, innovative finance ISA. So this is similar to stocks and share ISA, but it's used for peer-to-peer lending. So this does carry much more risk than the 3 other ISA explained. However, with higher risk come potential higher return or even potential higher loss. So that's something to consider. Now, on this platform is essentially a company or an individual borrow money directly from you, and they pay back the borrowed money with interest within the period of agreed time at the beginning of the contract. Now, if you don't have a innovative finance ISA and you have this platform, there is a personal allowance of £1,000 for the basic taxpayer and 500 for the higher taxpayer. So anything earned above that will be taxed. However, if you have an ISA account, none of these will be taxed. So that's all 4 of the ISA account. Now let's go through some example and see and clarify all the limits and allowances. We already established that in ISA you can only have 1 ISA account per tax year, 1 type per tax year. So 1 of cash ISA, 1 of stock and share ISA, 1 of any of the finance, and 1 of lifetime ISA per tax year. And in total you can only contribute £20,000 in total added up together for these ISA accounts. Now, why is it important that you start looking into these ISA accounts, or why consider them at all? You may think that this is not necessary or this can be sorted out later in years to come. It is essential that you actually start now, you start early. This is because the power of compounding. Now I will do another video on this, but your portfolio, now I'm directly speaking about stocks and share account, your portfolio can go exponentially in years, over years. So say you don't have an ISA account and you invest your money in a stocks and share platform, that's a normal account without ISA. It means that anything gained over 12.3 thousand, which is the capital gain allowance for this tax year, will be taxed. So if that was in an ISA account, anything above that will not be taxed. So it's essential that you start early. Now, of course, let me point the fact that 12.3k is a lot of money to gain in a tax year. And to gain that much amount, you probably have to invest thousands of pounds. Now, it's not about reaching that threshold this tax year. It's about preparing to reach that threshold in years to come later on. Now, the fact that why we have to start early, it's important to know that that 20k allowance is not carried over to the next tax year. So if we don't use that 20k allowance to the maximum, you lose it. It just doesn't get carried over to the next year. So it's imperative that that's actually used to the maximum if possible this tax year. That was my ISA video and the 4 different type of ISA account. Now I want to know where you are at your investment journey. Are you at the beginning? Are you looking into it? Have you invested? Where have you invested? What platform you're using? Make sure to comment down below and tell me where you are at. If you did find this content useful, give it a little like and subscribe for more. Oh, so you may be wondering why there's a random painting behind me all this time. So this actually took me 11 hours and it still looked like that. So make sure to, there's a link below, make sure to go there and just give it a little likes, because I spent 11 hours and I feel like I wasted my time.